All right, so I'm gonna start at the top. I might mix a little bit of blue, a little bit of red. This is gonna be like the top sky part. Maybe the tiniest bit of black, like just the edge of my brush. Barely any black, okay? Just to have that night sky. And I'm gonna sort of sweep it horizontally. And you can see how how dry this is when you first put it on. This is thick paint. It's a lot nicer than what we use in the classroom, but you can dip.
Mom.
Hang on, buddy. You can dip your
Can I do it with you?
paintbrush, not right now, in a little bit. You can dip your paintbrush into your water a little bit, and that will help. Stop. That will help. Stop. Don't do this. Hang on, I'm sorry. If you dip your paintbrush into water, it'll help the paint glide on your canvas a lot more. You have to really be the judge. You don't want it to be too wet though. I don't know if, I know most of you guys have probably seen Bob Ross's paintings. When he paints, what he usually does is he covers the canvas first with white paint.
Mom,
Jerry, I'm doing a class right now.
what's the password for your Gmail account? What is it?
I can't talk to you right now.
Just tell me, please. Ah.
So I started with the blue mixed with red at the top, and I'm just kind of going horizontal. Just back and forth. I like having the colors kind of streaky so they don't mix to make a perfectly flat color. Also, I didn't do what I just said about having covering the background with white because it will mix the colors to, like I said, it'll make like a pastel color. He also uses oil paint, which behaves differently too on the canvas. So if you come over here, I'll write it down for you.
Okay.
Hi.
So experiment with the fan brush. You can use it this way, kind of go back and forth. Yes, he uses a white glaze of titanium white.
Vibranium.
But the reason he does that is then he doesn't get this kind of streaky looking dry look on his canvas. It goes on a lot more smoothly.
Sit. Indigo. Sit.
That streaky look that we don't really want on the white part because it looks like I did not include enough paint on there. So I'm gonna start at this point. I didn't even clean my brush. I might just dry it a little bit. I'm gonna start adding a tiny bit of yellow into my brush. Makes like a pretty nice looking orange color.
Sit.
So if you have these streaks of white in here from having your brush be too dry, you can clean your brush, add a little bit of water to it, not too much, and go over it, and it'll sort of fill it in. But this is very thin. You don't really want to paint with this paint like watercolor.
Mom, please write it down.
Give me a piece of paper.
What?
Give me a piece of paper. Now just keep going back and forth, going back up, going back down. I told the other class too, you guys, these little cups of paint that I portioned out for you, like I've never done an online class like this before. We've always just been in my classroom. So if you end up like, I would like these paints to last you a while. And like today, we're not gonna use any green, not really very much white, mostly like reds and the yellows. But if you end up running out, let me know, because I'm gonna have like some portioned out that if you need to come and pick them up, like at Memorial at the breakfast pickup. Okay, I can do that. Just let me know. Ooh, I got a big streak of red in there that I didn't mean to put in there, but I don't care, because why not? That could be a happy little cloud. So I'm gonna clean my brush, and I'm blending that red right in there, adding some yellow down here. You really have to get a sense of like, do you want your brush to be more dry or a little wetter? So another thing that Bob Ross does is he'll take a dry brush and goes over the whole canvas, and that blends those colors in really well. I think at the bottom, I'm not gonna do a ton of white, but I'm gonna mix a little bit of this lighter yellow with the white. Like that's where that sunset was. A little bit of that. My whole canvas is covered now. So what I might do, if you want it to have a little bit of streakiness, kind of like when there's some clouds in the sky and they pick up the colors from the other parts of the sky, you can go back in, like with maybe a little orange, but go to another spot in your sky and add some streaks. I'm holding the fan brush this way, sideways, You could also use one of these other brushes. But I'm just kind of adding some streaks in here and there. So it looks like maybe some clouds in the sky. And they're not all gonna be the same length, the same shape. Maybe I'll add a little more yellow. And go a little farther up here into where the red is. I think I shared with you guys on the web page, on the classroom page, that artist Michael James Smith. He's like a photorealist painter, and those of you who had me at school, I probably put his videos on in the classroom because he's so soothing. But he does these unbelievable photorealist paintings, and he uses the tiniest little brushes and paints these little, like almost like one leaf at a time, or one little shimmer on the water at a time. Just take your time. Like, I feel like I always rush when I paint, and it's always been hard for me to slow down. Like, you don't have to rush. It could just take you as long as you need to finish your paintings. I'm gonna add some of that purpley, dark purple up here too. I like the streaks, as you can tell. So see how my sky doesn't look like, it's not like a perfectly smooth color. It has some variations in the color. I am almost out of red too. So another thing you might have, maybe you didn't even realize it, but you notice how we didn't draw anything with a pencil when we started?